Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us and welcome. My name is Murray Halpern. I'm going to be your host today for New Agent Training Part 6, Small Group Conversions. I wanted to thank you for joining us. Usually before I get started, I'd like to let you know we're not going to have any questions or answers today, period, because if we allow that, this presentation will go far too long, and we also don't allow any questions during the presentation. So afterwards, please make sure you have a pen and paper handy and call the person, your manager, if you have any questions. In addition, I'd like everybody to kind of make a deal with me. And here's the deal. Here's what I mean. Please close your emails, close your telephone, turn off your TV, your radio. Oh, if you're out in the yard playing with the dog, come on back in, because this is some pretty important information that we're going to go over right now. And what this is New Agent Training Part 6, Small Group Conversions. So for the next 30 or 40 minutes or so, let's get going. This is an absolutely unique opportunity. And the reason it's such a unique opportunity is because the Affordable Care Act has created an unprecedented opportunity to help small business owners because it may be in their employees' best interest to convert from group health insurance plans to individual plans. What that means is by offering a group plan to a small business owner with less than 50 employees, they might be doing a disservice to their employees. So that's why it's a great sales tool for you to consider when you're talking to business owners. The main reason that an employee would want to convert their group plan for an individual plan is so they can qualify for federal subsidies that might be available to them through the Affordable Care Act. In other words, you cannot qualify for a subsidy if you're on a group plan or if you have access to a group plan. So by canceling that group plan, you do then qualify for a subsidy, or you can at least try to enroll for a subsidy if you qualify. In the past, group health insurance plans had benefit advantages for employees. However, since all ACA plans must have the 10 essential health benefits, that in effect removes the advantage that group plans previously had. So once again, in other words, there is no benefit advantage for a person to be on a group plan if they're under 50 employees. So we have all these reasons for an employee to want to be on an Affordable Care Act plan. And here's one for you. Would you rather sell one individual plan at a time or convert 20 employees? Well, this training today, we're going to go over this concept. So let's talk about the market. There's multiple markets for your consideration in this approach, but the first is companies or not-for-profits, associations, etc., with 50 or fewer employees that currently offer group health insurance. By the way, if they particularly offer a PEO, you have a great advantage in the ability to potentially save them a lot of money, not just on their health insurance, but also on their HR costs by referring them to maybe an HR person that you are partnering with. Companies or not-for-profits with 50 or fewer employees that don't currently offer group health insurance. That's correct. We have such wonderful tools for any company to help their employees with enrolling for insurance, learning about insurance, that we really want to talk to both with group health and without. I read this recently, actually last year. It said that 30% of employers will stop offering group health benefits in the years after 2014. Well, the Affordable Care Act's employee mandate, the full mandate becomes effective this coming January. That's 2016. So that'll complete the round robin, so to speak. And how the mandate looks is companies with less than 50 employees have zero mandate. They don't have to do anything with regard to group benefits or health insurance benefits. Companies from 50 to 100 employees, their mandate kicks in on January 1st unless there's a change, and they will have to provide the minimum standard health insurance for their employees, access to it. So we'll see what's going to happen. We're expecting a huge open enrollment coming up this next year. And of course, any company with over 100 employees, they already did have that mandate in place. So what does all this mean for you, the new USABG agent? Whether you've been selling health insurance for a while or you're just starting, this is the perfect sales storm. We can do this all year long, not just during open enrollment. By the way, this is the key here. Losing group coverage is a qualifying event. So if somebody's coverage is dropped, they have 60 days from the effective date of that dropped insurance to enroll in a plan. More carriers have entered the marketplace this year, so we have more options to show our prospects. Healthcare.gov's website glitches have been corrected. It's really working well. Awareness of the problems with group health insurance has increased, and what I'm referring to there is simply the costs are going to the moon on group health insurance. I just mentioned this tip. 2015 is the last year before the employer mandate. Group health insurance rates I talked about are increasing, and USA Benefits Group's tools for your success to help small companies. We can help them with exchange sites, banner sites, and exchange concierge program. An exchange site is just that. A company can have its own exchange enrollment site. Pretty exciting. Or a banner site, that's just copying one of your sites that iBoomerang has available and putting that company's logo on that so all the leads come to you. Last but not least is an exchange concierge program. You might know of it already, but you can send pretty much any person that can get insurance in all 50 states. You get commission on it, and what I specifically use this for is when we convert a small group, and let's say some of the employees are in areas that I don't write or I don't have contracts, I send that name over to the exchange concierge. We keep it as part of the USABG family, if you know what I mean, and more importantly, I still get some commissions on it, and so does the company. So these are some great tools for you to learn and use as part of the perfect sales storm. So what are the benefits? Why would an employee want to get off what they've probably been used to for many years, which is a group plan? Well, here's one. Access to subsidies if they are eligible. How about saving hundreds to thousands of dollars a year on health insurance? Multiple plan options to choose from. You know, if you're on a group plan, the options you have are basically the ones that the employer chooses for you with the insurance company, and usually those are not the best plans because that employer wants to keep their contribution as low as possible. So if they're going to go off on their own, you're going to be able to show that employee multiple options, giving them the opportunity to have far better health insurance. The insurance stays with the employee. No COBRA. Wow, how about that? Have you ever been on COBRA? It's a pain. I know I have. I've hated it every time I've been on it. So now you can comfortably tell that HR person and the employee at that company, hey, you don't have to worry about COBRA because individual plans are transportable. They stay with the employee. Guaranteed issue, no waiting period, no riders. This used to be a concern, as you remember, before the Affordable Care Act kicked in. It's not so any longer. At this point now, it's guaranteed issue. So, and actually some of the old group plans are still not without waiting periods and riders. So you really might still have some benefits in addition to a group plan. Basically, that's what I'm just saying. Same or more benefits than group plans, mandated benefits. They could be comfortable that you can match up to any group plan anywhere. Employee has control of their benefits, not employer. I think if you asked this question to any employee, would you rather have control of what your health insurance options are than your employer? Every one of them is going to say yes to you. And last but not least, potential tax-free benefits with Section 125 plans. We're now using Zane Benefits more than Task. Look in your back office for Zane. What a great company. You'll really enjoy what they have to offer. So you could probably figure out some additional benefits that employees might be interested in, but here's just some of the ones that I have highlighted. So what is the benefit for the employer? Here it is. It's all you need. Right on the top line. Take a peek. Huge potential money savings. That's correct. If you can show that employer where they're going to save some money over their current plan, you're going to get an audience. And that's really all we want to start as an audience, so you can show this employer what you can do for them. And how do they save money? By no participation requirement. As you probably are aware, with a group plan, the employer has a minimum mandate of how much money they're going to match or put in. Usually it's 40%. Well, they don't have that with individual plans. Under 50 employees, there is no insurance mandate. They don't have to offer 1 penny to any of their employees. No COBRA. Why, while that was very important to the employee not to have option of COBRA, it's even more important to that employer and whoever helps handle insurance at that employer. They're really going to be happy. You tell that HR person you don't have to worry about COBRA anymore. Watch out, you might get a kiss from anybody. That's really how they think about COBRA, which coincides with the exact next line here, less administration requirements. And write these things down. These are important to your sales approach. So for less administration requirements, that same HR person is going to be really happy. They don't have to worry about those things. How about no annual open enrollment? On a group plan, every year they have to look at the new plan, see who's signing up. Usually the employer changes plans because it's too expensive, the increase. Now, while on the individual plans, there isn't an open enrollment, and unless that insurance company makes a change with that plan, your client really doesn't have to do anything, do they? But I'm suggesting every open enrollment, you call every one of those clients and you make sure you talk to them about their plan, try to improve the plan they have, and go over everything, and you're going to make some really great, happy clients. Less regulation. There is no regulation, basically, that the employer has to be considered. However, with group plans, that employer has to make sure they're following those rules. In effect, the employer is out of the insurance offering business. I'll make you a little bet. If you talk to any employer, tell them you don't have to worry about health insurance any longer, they might kiss you also. Pretty funny, isn't it? You have to show that employer how the USABG Exchange website will help them and how you can help them set up a branded banner site to make it easy for those employees to bypass the HR person and communicate directly with you. So we've talked about benefits for the employee. We've now talked about benefits for the employer. Let's get into what's most important. What are the benefits for you, the agent? Well, how about huge potential income? If you're walking in and converting a group health plan, you're going to make a ton of money right up front. Beyond that, you're going to make multiple sales at once, not just one employee at a time. Wouldn't you rather do that anyways, multiple individual sales? I know I do and I will. Great referral sources. Every one of these people are going to be able to refer you to others in their family and continually be a great source of business for you as long as you follow up and talk to them and communicate with them, and that they always know that you're there for them. How about cross-sell opportunities? I haven't even mentioned any of the other options for that, but usually in my experience, somebody who's on a group health plan also has group dental, usually has group life, and in some cases group critical illness. Why not do the same thing? Go in there and convert them into all of these products so you can have a huge income potential. And how about this? Continual business. If an employee leaves, stay close to that HR person so they can notify you when an employee leaves. You could call that employee, make sure where they're going, see if that new company would like to talk to you, try to make sure you don't lose that business. But usually I found when an employee leaves, the company hires a new one, so you're going to get a new arrival to sit and talk to and to talk about what you do and helpfully enroll them in health insurance. So just a quick recap here. We've talked about the benefits for the employee, the benefits for the employer, and the benefits for you as the agent. Is there anything here that you would think you disagree with or you have a question on? Please write it down and ask your manager. So let's use an example that I put together here. A conversion income example. What happens if you go to an employer and you get the opportunity to convert 20 employees? Pretty exciting, right, to do that. Well, let's say you used your health insurance annualized volume, which was $5,000 times 20 people at 6.5% commission or 6% commission. You're going to make $6,000 on that sale. And as you can see, I've understated everything. I've understated the average AV. I've understated the commission. Everything's understated. What if you're only able to convert 15 of the 20 onto dental? Here's the average AV. Your commission's $1,340. How about critical illness? Only 10 people are coming along with you for critical illness at $36 a month. So your commission on that is $2,880. And how about only 5 with an accident plan? I picked the accident plan from GAC-VBA, where a family of 4 can be covered for $59. Your commission on that is $1,239. So your total first year annualized commission on a conversion of 20 employees with some cross-sells is potentially $11,495. Not a bad day's work, is that? So I ask you a question. How many of these would you like to do a month? Do you think that this is not realistic? Because if you look at our leaderboard, it's absolutely realistic. Many people are doing it, and so can you. What would be the first thing to recommend to an employer? What should an employer do? Well, the first thing, and this is really important, folks, is to determine if dropping their group health insurance will benefit the company and the employees. You know, while it's always most important and vital that you do what's right for the client first. And many times you might go into a company and it makes more sense for them to stay on their group plan. That happened to me over and over many times, and that's exactly what I do. But then you want to know from that employer if there's a contribution budget that they have in mind, or just give employees a raise to make up for the dropped health plan. Do they want to offer any financial benefit to their employees, and how much would that be, and how do you want to deliver that? You're going to have to show them what the delivery options are. Use voluntarily benefits. So here's kind of a turn of events. You're going to want to use group dental and group life and group critical illness, but not group health, because of course the others don't get a subsidy. Group health's the only one you want to get rid of and put to individual plans. And make sure you take advantage of our iBoomerang private exchange technology to communicate, sell, enroll, and administer benefits. When you show an employer of these tools, they're going to know that you're serious, they're going to know that you're professional, and more importantly, they're going to want them. And so that gives you another sales approach and a sales advantage over almost all your competitors. I saw this and I wanted to share this with you because I thought it was important. Take a peek at the screen here. I read this from a group that had published this, and it was called, they said that the moral obligation for an employer may be to drop group coverage. Thought that was pretty interesting. And the subhead was, small businesses confused about ACA will need help moving forward into 2015 and further. So the poll they did showed that a whopping 91% of small employers who are considering dropping insurance for employees say that the cost of providing health insurance impacts their decision. The survey showed that employees offer health insurance benefits to employees First and foremost, because they feel morally obligated to do so. 44% of the employers said that. I was really shocked by that. And I kind of thought through that a little bit afterwards. And this is your sales approach. This is what I would do if I were you. So think this through with me here. Give me a moment. If you're talking to a business owner, this is a question. Is your health insurance, group plans, are the prices increasing to the point where you're having problems continuing with it, but you feel morally obligated to your employees to do something? You get that? Ask them if the price is going up, but they're still conflicted because of the moral obligation. Most of the time, I can't promise you every time, but most of the time, they're going to say yes. They're absolutely going to say yes. So if they do say yes, now you're in the door. That's a great approach to start with. So then the next thing would be as follows. You're going to ask them for the following information. The following information is going to be this. You're going to want their current group plan information, the summary of benefits. Take a screenshot of this. Pull your camera out, your phone, and take a picture of it if you can't do a screenshot. You're going to also want their current group plan premium info for each employee, and you want to know who pays what. You're going to want to know the dates of birth for each person on the plan. Usually their group plans don't show the dates of birth for the dependents and spouse. You're going to want to know the home zip code for each person. Sometimes the group plans don't show that. You're going to want to know the names of doctors and medications. This is really important so you don't show them a plan that doesn't have this. If they want to qualify for a subsidy, you're going to need estimated household income. And last but not least, number of people on tax return. Now, when you think about this, it's pretty exciting. They're giving you all the information you need to find a way to sell them. I wish I had every sale like this. What a great tool. Now, in our library, the USABG library, there's a form called Group Conversion Form that has a line item for all of this information. So you might want to look for that. You'll be able to use that. Put your name on the bottom of it. I think it's got my name on it. Remove my name. Put your name in there. And this is what you want to ask that business owner to get you, or the HR person at the company. It's real important. It's giving you the tools to make the sale. So then, here's what happens next once you get that information. First thing you're going to do is you're going to look at each one of the people, and you're going to go to healthcare.gov and determine if they qualify for a subsidy. You're going to take the total people in the household versus their adjusted gross income or their salary, and if they're fit in this chart, or the chart on healthcare.gov, that's what you're going to do. Then you're going to go look through all the plans that you represent and try to find a plan that's comparable to the group plan they have, and see what the gross costs are, and see what the savings is with the subsidy, and be able to make a determination if they're going to be better off or not. It's important. Then you're going to take all that information and you're going to create a proposal. I use a spreadsheet. You're going to first, in one column, list the current group plan info for each person. Then you're going to list the amount paid by the employee for that plan, the group plan I'm talking about, and the employer. Then you're going to find a comparable plan and list retail price. So list the total retail price in the next column. These are all done in columns. It's really simple. Then you're going to determine if each person qualifies for a tax credit and put the tax credit amount in another column next to the list price of the plan. You're going to add up each column to determine savings for the company. You're going to then take those numbers and compare what their company's paying on the group plan from their participation, what the employees are paying from them, and now guess what? You have a summary for the employer that they can easily see, create a narrative explaining to them how much money they're going to save and how much the employees are going to save, if it at all is, and arrange an enrollment day with the employer. Enrollment day can be done in person, and enrollment day can be done over the internet. What we did over the internet was pretty simple. We've done this a few times. You ask them to set up a screen in a private room, and each employee puts themselves down on a calendar schedule 45 minutes per employee. Send them over a list of all the things you'll need, like family social security numbers, all the medications again, doctors. Make sure you checked all that. And then when they come into the room, they're on our system. You've got a web conference going, and you sign them up. If you want to do it in person, that's great. Basically, you'll do the same thing, except you'll be in that room. This works. Give it a try. Start thinking through it. I think you'll really enjoy how you can make yourself a ton of money doing this. So, how do you find employers? How do you find business owners? What do you do here? First thing I would do is make a list of all the business owners you know. Every last person that you know. Put their email addresses, their phone numbers, and put it down on a spreadsheet. Then include a list of businesses you support. By the way, businesses owners you know, I have friends that are in businesses that I don't do anything with versus companies and people and businesses, the cleaners, my doctors that I support. Those are two different lists in many cases. Join a B&I group or a chamber. Oops, sorry about that. If you join a B&I group or a chamber, may I recommend that you really get involved. I mean, really get involved. Don't just do it half-assed, so to speak. Get in there, become an ambassador, become on the board of the B&I group, and let people get to know you. I think it's important. Buy a list of small business owners. Sorry about that, it keeps doing that. Buy a list of small business owners near you. There's tons of different options in our back office. There's a company that'll Go Leads, I think it's called. You'll be able to buy 300 names a month, pretty darn cheap, and you'll know everything you need to know about that business. This one's real important. Contact every accountant you know, every P&C agent you know, every HR salesperson you know, anybody who deals with business owners, and make relations with those people. Get out and talk to them. It's quite important that you get that done. Use social media. If you don't have a Twitter account or a LinkedIn account or a Facebook account, I would pick at least LinkedIn and start, because this is a great way to keep track of people. And last but not least, you can buy group leads from USAVG lead companies. So, in this 30 minutes, you've learned a lot. What I suggest you do right now before we end this is go to your piece of paper, write down all your questions, and make sure you call your manager and go over these. Here's the code for today. It might be different if this is a recorded session. 7511ED. You have 1 hour to go into your agent area, then click on training and enter the training code in the upper right to get credit for completing this session. You have 1 hour to do this. 7511ED. I hope you learned something today. Thanks for joining. Take care. Have a great day.